Hello, beautiful souls. Lori Rising here, star medicine channeler and sacred guide. Welcome to the Pisces full blue supermoon on August 30th at 6:35 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And welcome to the brightest moon of the year. And it is absolutely an eliminator, an eliminator of what's not working, but an illuminator of what is possible for us from here. Oh my gosh. Can I get the words out? Mercury retrograde. Yeah, we are now in full swing into the Mercury retrograde in Virgo, and it is at an auspicious point with the Venus retrograde in Leo. If you would like to learn more about that, I'm going to link a video up here for you to watch about the Mercury retrograde, because this is a beautiful activator of where we have gone in a heart-centered space. We've cracked open a heart-led life, and Mercury in Virgo is helping us to integrate it through the review, the reassess, and the rebirth process of our Virgo themes of daily living, of the body-mind connection, and of how we serve. Where do we serve from? So when we transform that with the Venus retrograde in Leo, which has really been cracking our hearts open to live from that place of love, of self-care, of standing on the stage of our life, of shining our light, of finding our courage and bravery beyond the conditions, programming, and even, I'm going to get into this in a little bit, but the illusion of how we've held ourselves in this life and how we may be being our biggest blockers yet. So there's lots to get into, but definitely check out that Mercury retrograde to go a little bit deeper into those themes. But first of all, again, hello, I'm Lori Rising. I'm so happy that you're here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm so excited to invite you into this community because y'all, guess what? We are about 36 people away from one of you getting a 90-minute astrology and Akashic records with me. Oh, they are so good. It will change your life. And yes, I have the absolute confidence to say that. I just did a reading like 2 days ago with a beautiful soul. Shout out if you are out there. She's also a channeler, and it was a blast. She got downloads. I would hear them and I shared them and she would confirm them. It was this gorgeous interplay that we got to have together. And the messages were so powerful. So all I could say is it felt like this stream of water, like this chute of water flowing from my heart. The guides were coming in so strong for her, and she's making change right now, stepping into her power. And I'm so excited about it. So maybe that free reading has your name on it. So definitely hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you are out there liking these videos, commenting on them and sharing them, I deeply appreciate it. This is how I'm going to continue to share these free transmissions, by getting myself and my own cup filled up in this business. I have to keep growing this business in order to have the time to do these transmissions. So I appreciate however you're called to help and support in that way. We are getting there. And I know there's several of you OGs out there that I love you. You know you're in my heart, and I hold you very, very deeply in all of that care. So that being said, in these videos, I touch on the dominant energies that are coming through my channel in the collective around the power of the new and full moon and what's unfolding at that time, and how we can best work with those energies in moving forward with our own journey and ultimately for the collective. Stick around because I do a card reading at the end to get more direct messages from the guides on ways to empower the actions that we take in our life, or even the inaction that we take in our life, for the action to come through in an intuitive hit in our innate guidance system. I hope you followed that. Yeah, so it's going to be fun. We have a lot to go into. I'm also going to share the chart and show you some of the aspects that I'm going to be talking about today. So if you like to learn more about reading an astrology chart, stick around. Y'all, I am on a high because I just did a new Earth Light Work workshop at Insight Timer, and it was lit. I mean, literally, it was lit, right? We were doing light work, but it was so powerful. I was tapping into the energy of the souls that were working with me. And it was almost like I was being pulled into a vortex. Like literally, when I put my hands out, I could feel the magnetic energy drawing me in. I literally had to hold myself back. So just know that right now, as we make these retrograde octave jumps, is what I'm calling them now. Every one of these big retrograde periods, it gives us an opportunity to move to the next octave when we stay in the arena, when we do the work. And I know this because I have absolutely moved exponentially through this retrograde, in great part to the Venus in Leo transformation. Check out what houses these retrogrades are moving through in your natal chart as I talk about them. And then you're going to know the extra layer of what environment in your personal life you're working with. So check out those houses. And maybe you don't want to wait for the free reading. I still have my readings available at least until the fall. So if you're ready to get unstuck, to blast off in the supportive energies that we have right now, y'all, we are in a flow. It's time to get on your magic carpet ride and get going into who you came to be, the light you came to share. No more BS. It is go time. This is where we are going to be making the transformation for the collective through the systems. And it's going to be happening like quicker and quicker and with more and more strength. So if you're plugged in, you're going to be seeing it as chaos where you're plugged into. But if you're plugged into your inner resource and power, and as you transform your experiences out in the world into unity consciousness, into that higher frequency, and into the space of learning and growing from every experience, the reflective wisdom in the experiences, as you drop out of that, the comparison or polarity of me versus you, the competition of duality, and the strength in duality and holding duality and staying in that root center of love. Ooh, y'all, that's where it's going. That's when the ease is coming in and the big epiphanies are coming in. The big opportunities are coming in, because in that space, you're available for them. When you're in defense, you are not available. You're in resistance. And this is how we are moving in this huge illumination of light. So make sure you go outside, get under this moonlight, charge your water, charge your crystals. I'm going to be charging some essential oils that I'm going to be selling soon under this rare blue supermoon. So watch for those. They're going to be very powerful. I cannot wait. And the thing I wanted to highlight as well is this is the third supermoon in a row of 4, which means the moon is at its closest at the closest point in its elliptical path, in its orbit to the Earth. And the last new moon, the Leo new moon that we had, was a micro moon, which meant it was in its farthest point in its path from the Earth. So this shows me how the big illumination at the full moons is we're absolutely making those jumps and leaps and letting go of that baggage that is no longer serving us, that's been holding us back. And ultimately where we can come into where we've been the catalyst or the supplier of the energy of that holding us back. And then the micro moon gave us all of this starlight illumination. So it's really light through all of it, but it's like the light of the sun, the light rays and codes of the sun, which powers all, and then the light of the stars, which is us. We are made of stardust, right? And that's our light that pulsates through our cells, and it's a reminder of who we came in, of that ancient encoded wisdom that is within us. We don't have to seek it outside of us. What we need to be seeking are the circles and groups that hold us in our highest potential. And that's where we find that courage to step out onto that stage, to jump off the precipice, to take the risk, to stay in the arena until we get to the spaciousness and the expansion. So the channeled message that came through in another client session yesterday that I'm now sharing, because it feels very important for the collective, is that when we stop viewing ourselves as how we think other people view us, we are going to expand. We are going to jump. We are going to move. What I want to talk about with Pisces is that it rules the feet and the blood. The blood is our DNA. We are in a DNA upgrade. These retrogrades have taken us, especially when we went through the Lionsgate portal and Lammas, which we're now in until we reach the fall equinox. That has actually reawakened much of the dormant DNA inside of us. And that's why we're getting these bigger downloads on where to go and having these deeper connections that are leading into bigger opportunities, because we're vibrating in that higher frequency of the DNA that's awakening. I am now working on my new DNA meditation, which is the 13 layers of consciousness of the DNA, not just the 2 strands of physicality. And I'm really excited to drop it. So stay tuned. So the feet is our connection to the earth, to the ground, and the earth has really been going through her own upgrade in frequency and transformation. If you've been watching the Schumann resonance, the radio blackouts happening, her magnetic field is shifting, and we're really dropping into this beautiful co-creation, especially as we moved through the North Node in Taurus, okay? So this Pisces full moon makes me feel like we're getting to this point of recognizing the delusion of who we thought we were by blaming it on how other people see us or judge us or view us or hold us or challenge us. And especially this comes into our family units, right? This comes into the view that we were finite, that we are who we are. We show up where we show up. And it just negated all of the divinity and majesty that we have within ourselves in evolution, in change, in growth, which is the fuel to this mission. It's like that's the unlocking of our true purpose here. And we've been forcing ourselves into something else that the culture around us told us to do. And that's why we've been ending up in these deep states of unwellness, of unhappiness, of mental health symptoms, and, toxicity of the mind, of the body, of the energy. We've really got to pay attention to our stream of consciousness. There's a lot more that I'm going to be sharing about that soon, because I'm getting really, really deep messages about that and where we have to go when we want to make quantum leaps. We have to make quantum leaps in our life if we want to see it in the collective. And that's where it's been a major imbalance and just disconnection, because we've been trying to force it in the collective, but the root is right here. Medicine has been doing a band-aid, and we've been living in greater and greater amounts of dis-ease. We've got to get to the root. The root is here. And that's why I honor you for being here, for showing up and sharing your time, energy, and belief and attention with me, because that is you saying yes and believing in your time and knowing that this matters, that this is going to emanate out into the world, that this is the root of where we're going. And when we bring strong roots together, nothing can change that. Nothing can sway it, not even any construct that we've built in the past. We've got to stop relying on what's been built before us and remember that we are the creators of worlds. that when we believe in what's possible without having to have the evidence of it, the physical evidence of it, we create it. It's the energetic root, the physical manifestation shows up. We don't have to go out and search for it so dang hard. Yes, I know this is a very motivational video. So I am going to show the chart now if you want to see a couple of the transits that I want to highlight. Okay, here we are. I am staying with orange for the Leo Lion solar plexus energy of the Venus retrograde. And here's the moon in Pisces. And I want to highlight that we've got a conjunction with Saturn, and we've also got Neptune in Pisces there. So that's important to pay attention to because this is a lot of Pisces energy. It's a lot of mutable energy. And this could make you feel a little delusional, right? So this is where you want to be in your response instead of your reaction, right? Because when we feel boundless in this space where we feel fuzzy and not completely clear, Pisces really wants to feel better. Honestly, Pisces is just the biggest feeling sign, and Pisces has so much compassion and empathy that when they are plugged into the mainstream of consciousness, it's too much for them. It's just too much to be here because they can tap into all of the pain and all of the suffering out there. But just tapping into that and not doing our own personal work to emanate that out into the energy, we stay in the energy of that sadness and that overwhelm, and then that gets emanated out from us. So I want you to be super careful right now about your clarity and about what you turn to when you feel overwhelmed. Because if you turn to distractions or substances, I mean, that can be alcohol, drugs, food, your phone, social media, scrolling, that's actually going to create much more discomfort for you because our cells are not vibrating in that space of distraction anymore. Your cells are your truth meter, and they want you to move deeper into that light, into that clarity. So just be aware of your response versus your reaction right now. And how can you be the most constructive for your highest and best good? And maybe it's just sleep. Like if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's 10 p.m. Instead of staying up until 11:30, just go ahead and let yourself go to sleep. Do a nice little ritual right before you go to sleep and clear the energy, sound, frequency, breath, sage, whatever it is, clear the energy and be available for the rebirth of the new day. And let yourself go into what's possible on the birth of the next day. It's the death and the rebirth. Let the night and day be that for you. Okay, but here we've got Saturn and Pisces really bringing in some extra help and support in that area because Saturn is the taskmaster. It's the it wants you to get serious. It wants you to be responsible about the energy that it's sharing with you, and it wants you to do the work. Put the time in. So if we're ever going to be in any kind of time unfolding, Saturn is that. It's known as Chronos, and it's also the grandfather energy. So let yourself really pay attention to where you focus your time because you have enough time for anything. It's what you believe is valuable for your time. And that can be beliefs that aren't even yours. And that's where you can be in this imbalance and disconnection because you're doing all these things with your time that are misaligned for yourself and your soul. And then you're overwhelmed and then you're exhausted and then you don't have any time. So when you start doing the things in your time that really lift you up, that remind you of how great you are and all of your potential, all of your majesty, and like that you are here to do the thing. You're here to do what you came to do because nobody else is here to do it. No one else is going to do it for you and no one else can do it. So you're here to do the thing that's tapping on your soul. Let Saturn take you into the spiritual connection of that. Pisces is our spiritual world. It's boundless. It's formless. It's the psychic connection So spend time in your spiritual practice. Spend time in the present moment. Spend time just enacting your senses so that your mind's not on monkey mind. Like, let that all go and know that right now, that's not going to change the more you think about it. So just go outside, feet on the ground, Pisces, right? Move your blood, the DNA, and just listen, look, hear, feel, and just notice. Let it be soft and gentle in your energy. This is go time with Saturn and Pisces, right? This is go time with Saturn conjuncting the moon. And then Neptune in Pisces as well. It's a lot of spiritual connection and soul connection to your higher self, but it's also probably going to require some change. And that may be why you're resisting it. So really drop in and notice that, because Saturn is going to shore it up. This is the beauty of Saturn working in Pisces with the moon and Neptune, with your emotional world and with your spiritual world. So let Saturn help you do this. The other aspect that I wanted to highlight, well, there's two. Some big conjunctions right here. We've got Jupiter and Uranus conjunct in Taurus. So this could be, earth shifts, earthquakes, earth movement, like really big things happening with the earth because Jupiter is conjunct with it and Jupiter expands whatever it's touching. So these are going to be really big surprises. It can be surprises financially. Taurus is our money, our own money. It's our value. So what you value, how you value. So let yourself have these big epiphanies and energies that come through with Uranus, and let it be an opportunity for practice. Let it create the deep guttural transformation for you instead of resisting whatever it is, right? Instead of retreating from it, let yourself actually lean into it, move towards it, and look at what's possible in the big shift that's coming through in your life. Like I said, it could be financially, with your values, with your things, transforming from your external world, creating safety, to your internal world, creating safety. So something could change with your outward things, but that's going to be an opportunity for you to find the balance within instead of letting that dictate your state of being. Okay, so watch for that too. And then this is the earth, of course, like what's going on in the earth. And it could be with your home in the earth, like anything in the environment. And the last transit I was going to highlight here, this conjunction, is Chiron conjuncting the North Node. Like Chiron in Aries, this is all about our physical self and how we come into the world and how we're viewed in the world and how we feel like we're viewed in the world, right? So really pay attention to that. I feel like this is a big theme in this energy, in this blue moon energy of like, it's finally time to declare, to hold it so true within your center, within yourself, and know that that is your North Star, no matter what's happening in your circumstances. Let them come and go. Let them come in and go. Let them flow. Let yourself be adaptable, right, in this mutable energy, and hold your truth of how you came to come into the world, to share with the world in a place of confidence, in a place of innovation, and the things that only you came to do. Let yourself create, right? And let yourself be passionate about it, because the North Node is taking you towards that destiny. You don't need anybody else's approval. You get to do the dang thing all by yourself. And I'm going to leave you from this with this message, which is your life will not change without your full participation in it. And with your full participation in it, it absolutely will. We are made to grow and evolve and change. We're made to be present. We're made to care. We're made to be intentional. And we are moving so deeply to this beautiful place in this collective And I'm just so stoked to be here with you doing this work because I know you are out here being a way shower. And believe me, it doesn't have to come from your words. It comes much more powerfully from your energy and from your own transformation. And this goes for your friends, your community, your kids, your partner, your family. And it reaches out into the systems that have been so imbalanced and disempowering. And this is where we create power in new systems from new collectives and new groups that really believe and bring together all of that magic and strength, because things can be resurrected in moments, in light seconds. When we do that, we are really innovative, inventive, creative, amazing beings. We've only tapped into a tiny fraction of the potential that we have here together. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And if you would like to know more about my programs and offerings, head on over to my hub at therawandwildhearts.com. And something I want to share right now with you that's very special is I now have my manifestation and magnetization bundle out for you to push play, to be intentional with your time in your spiritual practice. It's so divine that it's dropping at this time with this Pisces full blue supermoon and Saturn, because you will have more of that motivation to push play. And when you experience the enormous results, the profound expansion that comes when you get the enlightenments, the intuitive hits, and that guidance that leads you to a place that your mind had never even thought of or thought was possible, you're going to want to come back more. You're going to make this your lifestyle. You're going to bring it into your everyday life. You won't just set aside time to do the practice. It's going to be normalized in your response of life. But believe me, when this becomes normalized and you start elevating this frequency in your electromagnetic field, it all happens more and it comes quicker, and you have less of that lower contrast to move through and work with. It's really incredible. So it's got some amazing, it has my Manifest Like a Champ masterclass in there. That's where it lives. It has my meditations. It has a 7-day embodied wake and activate practice with me, because the way we begin our mornings, that's the energy that we root in for our day. Remember that. So what are your non-negotiables? How do you spend your time? And how do you want that to unfold from there? These are your choices, right? Nobody else is doing it to us. Even with our jobs and our commitments and everything like that, we get to get creative in how we bring these practices in. It doesn't have to look a certain way. Get rid of the rules. Let go of those rules. Pisces wants to not have rules. Pisces wants to be accepted fully for who they are in all of it. And when they are, that's when they really feel trust and they feel good in this reality. Without that, they feel very uncomfortable in the constructs of this world. So remember that as you're moving deeper into your ritual, into your connection in this new moon, and your co-creation with all of the guidance that's coming through. So if you want to jump into that manifestation and magnetization bundle, it's in the links below. It is unbelievably reasonable. I have kept this offer very low for a reason, because I want this world to be seeded with more of us and more of this energy, so we make it happen fast. I want to experience the new earth systems and the full wealth and holistic wealth and abundance while I'm in this body in this iteration. So this is why I am coming out with all of my offers, with all of this work, because it's going to be a blast. We're going to be levitating together. It's going to be amazing. And I'm sure you're all feeling even just a little bit of that excitement pulsating through your cells now. They're coming online. So pay attention to your guidance system, to your intuition. Follow it, follow the new threads, see where they lead, and let me know. Let us know in the comments, how are you moving through this big time period, because Uranus will have just went into retrograde on the 29th. And then we have that Uranus Jupiter conjunction. So it's going to be and feel extra, because when Uranus slows down, it's really big, because those outer planets have a lot of momentum. And when they shift, we're going to feel it on the collective in a much more powerful way. Okay, y'all. I hope that this has been super supportive, enlightening, and exciting for you. I'm just going to do one quick card read to see what the guides want to bring through for our final moments together. And I will leave you with that. Let's see. These are my new cards. I've only used them one other time, and they felt very important. Repairing the veil, forgiveness. So I really wanted you to take that in, especially as I talk about the radical accountability, right? That full alignment with forgiving ourselves for whatever is in the past, forgiving others for whatever is in the past, and realizing that we have the capacity to do the transformation right now. We don't have to wait for months or years. We don't have to wait for somebody else to find their way into that place of soul growth or into that frequency. We get to do this ourselves. And there's no judgment here. There's no guilt about where we've been in the past. There's only this moment and where we go from this moment, how we access this moment, and how we reveal the rest from there. So just feel into this card, and where might this be applicable in your experience right now? Because the veil is pretty much not even there, especially at this time. So know that all of your guides are supporting you in finding that empowerment, that empowered forgiveness, that's empowered, right? Because you found the inner resource to find that, and you free everyone else up for them to find deeper places of enlightenment as well. And I honor you for that. This is big work in this human journey. Okay, y'all. So until next time, I hope to see you here for the next video. And maybe with this video, one of you will be receiving that free 90-minute reading with me. I'm excited to see who's manifesting it. All right, y'all. Till next time, don't forget to keep looking up.